All right, warning. The following video may cause you to want to not join our insurance business and quit altogether. And honestly, the goal of this video here, we want to give you the pros and the cons of this business. You watch an opportunity video, you get all over YouTube, you talk about the insurance business, and you see sunshine and rainbows. I'm going to be a millionaire, and I'm going to make more money than I've ever made in my entire life. I'm going to work less than I've ever worked in my entire life. We're not just going to give you the sunshine and the rainbows. It's time to give you the clouds and the thunderstorms and the tornadoes and the hurricanes and the floods and everything that comes along with this business. We want to be totally upfront and honest. If you make it through this entire video and you still want to be a part of the insurance business, we can't wait to work with you. So, Josh, what are some landmines that new agents step on in this business that would cause someone to maybe not be a good fit for this business?
Well, anywhere you go, the first thing, right? Anywhere you go, people say, well, I'm willing to work hard. Okay, yeah, and maybe that means that, you know, you've been a construction person. Maybe you have worked 12 hours a day as, you know, a health professional and as a nurse or something like that. So, you know, everybody has worked hard, but this is going to be a different kind of work, right? You're self-employed. So the very first thing that people struggle with is how to be self-employed. That means no one is saying if you don't show up today, you're fired. But that doesn't mean it's not true. If you don't show up today on live dials with your camera on and either a hat on, your hair combed and ready to go, right? You are unemployed. Now, maybe you have another source of income, but in terms of what your hopes and financial dreams of your insurance business, you're unemployed, okay? And so that means that you have to have a schedule, and you have to, like right now, if you work a job, okay, and right now, what is your schedule? You maybe it's 9 to 5, maybe you work second shift, third shift, but there is not, if you feel sick, unless you're deathly ill, you go into work, right? And because you're self-employed, 1099, and I have this great insurance business, and I can go and sell a big policy that pays all my bills for a month, that does not mean that you do not continue to show up and set a schedule that you work regardless of the outcome, right? And so if you want to be able to pay your bills without checking your bank account, you have to be able to work without checking the clock. And I think that is the first thing that people struggle with, is showing up day one when they don't feel like it, or continuously on day three when no one's knocking on their door or calling their phone going, hey, you have to be here at this certain time. They get a little lazy. They say, oh, I had to take the kid here. I had to do that here. Yeah, we have kids too. But you set the schedule and you show up no matter what. Success starts with showing up.
100%. And I think that new agents, they struggle with the idea of being their own boss. I mean, I still to this day, I'm 12 years into being my own boss, and there are days when I'm like, man, I'm a really shitty boss for myself. I am horrible. I'm not disciplined. And there's days where I'm like, damn, you crushed it as your own boss. But there's days when, I probably should get fired. And at the end of the day, if you have more days like that than days where you're disciplined, you're not going to make it in this business. And I think that's the biggest thing here is this is a business. You are self-employed. There are a couple realities here in this business. We have to treat it like a business. Like as a business, treat it like a business, treat it like a hobby. We're going to get paid like a hobby, and we're probably going to go out of business if we treat our business like a hobby. What we're really looking for is we're looking for people who want to be career insurance agents, and they want to go out and become the best they can possibly be. They want to focus on having good ROI, and they look at their business as something where they don't want to starve their business. So a handful of different things, so many different directions that we can go here about like landmines that new agents hit. But the number one thing is that commission-based sales, you can make more money than you've ever made in your entire life beyond your wildest dreams. But guess what? This is an advance-based business. In an earlier video, we talked about how we get paid. We talked about how we get 75% of the annual premium up front. And we also talked about in other videos how, IUL's persistency is higher. But guess what? Clients still cancel. Clients cancel no matter what. I had a big $8,000 policy cancel on me the other day. And, even if it was 1 out of 10, that's still a big commission that, is a negative commission. So if you're watching this video and you're like, okay, I can make more money than ever. There's these things called chargebacks, where the idea here is that Mary pays $83 a month, $1,000 a year. Awesome. You got paid $1,000 on an $83 sale. Like, how does that even make sense? The insurance carrier is advancing you for the entire year. So it's kind of like an interest-free loan, And at the end of the day, you then get 75% of that up front, the other 25% on months 10, 11, 12. But if the client cancels between months 1 through 9, you're going to get a chargeback for whatever is left in that first 9-month period. So let's say you got paid $750, clients put in, $450, $500, whatever the remainder is, that's what you're going to get charged back on, what you haven't been, or what the client hasn't paid in regards to what you've already been paid. So chargebacks are a thing. 3 out of 10 policies typically fall off the books with final expense and mortgage protection. So if you're getting involved in the insurance industry, that is a cost of doing business. There are many things that you can do to mitigate chargebacks, to minimize them, to help you become a more professional agent and not sell things that aren't a for sure thing just to try to get paid. And that's things that agents do. So we want to really be upfront with you because commission-based sales is already hard enough. Commission-based sales, you could sell cars or you could sell solar, you could sell pest control. You can be in just any traditional business where you're a business owner, and it's already hard enough to be a good steward of the money that you have coming in, knowing that you're a hunter and I go out and if I don't hunt, I don't eat. Like that whole concept right there. Like if you can't get behind the concept of if I don't hunt, I don't eat, like sales isn't for you. But insurance specifically, it's a beautiful industry. It's a revolutionary industry, but it's a dangerous industry for the wrong person. I've seen people get into incredible worlds of hurt. And I'm just going to throw this out there right now. I've seen agents go $100,000 in debt in this business. I've also seen agents put $100,000 in their savings account in a year. And here's the deal. And Josh will talk a little bit more about this. Are you the agent who takes your first commission and you go to Disney World, you buy a $900 a month truck? Or are you the agent who learns how to put the money back into your business and treat it like a business? Because you could be a Subway franchise owner, or you could be, a digital marketing business owner. And if you take all of the money from your first customer and you spend it all on yourself, how do you expect to have a business tomorrow? If you're a Subway franchise and it's like, the whole month of October, I just took the $50,000 that our store generated and I just went and put a down payment on a house or a Lamborghini that I couldn't afford. We need to buy bread, meat, and cheese. We got to keep the lights on. So if you don't treat it like a business, you're not going to be in business. So in terms of like being a good steward of your commission, stealing from your business, not treating it like a business, thinking that it's your money and not the business's money, where can we go from there, Josh?
I mean, I would add a little bit to that just to say, look, I mean, there's a tale of two stories. I had a friend of mine one time. I mean, just literally if I go back, 4 or 5 years ago, I had a career of, I'd never made over 6 figures just a few years ago. And, now we're making multiple 6 figures. And, I remember I had a friend of mine, our first year, we cracked 6 figures. He went out and bought a new Jeep. He was playing the crypto market and he was laughing at me. He's like, "Oh, Josh, you're so conservative." And I was like, "Yeah, but I sleep really well at night." And, now he still has a lot of nice toys. He's got no money to his name. I don't know how his credit is. And I have a very high credit score. I have 0 debt, money in the bank, and we get to go on nice vacations. And, I sleep well, right? And that's peace of mind. And so what Jamie is saying is you can choose to, again, be a good steward of the money, reinvest it into the business, which is the first thing that feeds you and pays you, right? Or you can be the person that just goes and spend it. And one other thing on that is I get it. We all come to the table with certain financial situations. I know, Jamie, when he started, he was in a bad spot financially, had a lot of debt going on, and it's really easy to go, I have to go take this money and I have to go solve these financial situations. And I would encourage you not to. You're going to get yourself in trouble. We had an agent one time that they worked a job and they did this part-time and they were very successful part-time. And they went out and took all of the money that they'd made that month, which was significant, and went and paid off some debts. And they said, well, I had to pay off these debts. And the answer is no, you didn't, right? The debts were going to be there next month and the month after that, right? The time to plan a foundation. So you're not making money one time, but you're creating wealth over and over and over again. And so what he did when he spent all that money is he drained his business accounts. When you make money, that's number one. It's not your money. It's not Josh's money. It's the business's money, right? And if the business has money, it's going to continue to feed Josh, right? And so when you do that, you drain the business and you take time off and you go early on and you go spend it all on Disney or catching up on bills and thinking, well, I have to do that. you're effectively taking your business out in the backyard and you're shooting it in the head and it's dead and it's not going to feed you anymore. So don't be that guy.
Yeah, definitely don't be that guy. And here's the deal, guys. Like I get it. It sounds like we're being kind of dramatic. And I think we are on purpose, because if you are the wrong person for this business, you've probably already turned off this video. But if you're the right person for business in general, you're going, yeah, it's kind of common sense what Josh is saying there. Yeah, of course. Why would I want to take my business out back and shoot it in the head? But at the end of the day, again, like, this business is not easy. No business is easy. And the insurance business specifically, we call it the best business ever, because it can make your wildest dreams come true. But we just want to scare all irresponsible sales agents away. Anybody who thinks they can come into this business and do anything sketchy, turn off the video right now. You think you're going to come in here and do any type of insurance fraud, turn off the video right now. We're not the ones. Our company's not the company to mess with. But if you are a solid person with good morals, looking for an amazing sales opportunity for people who are selling a product that they believe in, that people actually need, this is definitely the opportunity for you. So I think our biggest thing here is we just want to teach agents how to be solid, how to do business right, how to save their money, because I think the last thing I'll kind of say here is I've been in a world of financial hurt. I've done everything wrong you can possibly do in business. So if you're hearing like the drama and everything that we're saying, it's because I know what it's like to be a first-time commission-based salesperson who spent all my money and spent 7-8 years paying back taxes and paying for it. I know how to be the person who lived the laptop lifestyle and had the fancy BMW and the lofted apartment and had it all repossessed in a very embarrassing way in front of my friends and family because I wasn't responsible. So if you're somebody who is a first-time commission-based person and you're here, we're just trying to make sure that you don't step on the same landmines that we've already stepped on, number one. Number two, if you're somebody who maybe has been in another sales opportunity and you've been a horrible steward of your commissions like me, maybe you're listening to this going, damn, like this is exactly what I needed to hear. It's time for me to be more responsible with the money that does come in. You have to change your habits and change the way that you do this. And at the end of the day, our goal is to help you feed your business so you can create, kind of just cash flow that's going to continue to come in, that's predictable. And we're going to teach you how to be responsible. And we'll kind of talk about some of that stuff in some other videos. So we talked a little bit about, being your own boss. We talked about, being, steward of your commissions. We talked about chargebacks. What's something else, maybe that is, a big landmine that someone might step on?
I would say the learning process. Okay. So there's people that kind of fall on two ends of the spectrum and they both tend to not do well. It's either a person that comes in and says, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm just going to figure this out on my own. And that person usually, if they do make a sale, it's pretty short-lived and they never figure it out and they quit frustratedly and they usually complain that no one helped them. On the other end of the spectrum, right, you have the person that is, how do I put this? They're an ask-hole. Ask-hole, right?
They're needy.
And needy in a way where they're asking all the same questions over and over again. You've probably worked with these people where, it's one thing, Jamie calls me up and goes, hey, I'm working on this project. How did you come to this conclusion? I go, oh, I did this, this, and this. Boom, done. He's off to the races. He's doing it. It's the other thing when he asked me that question 5 days in a row. And you have to be extremely resilient in this business. Now, we're going to lay out some things on how our agents work together, how we learn the environments that you want to be around to make sure you're maximizing your learning speed and potential. But with that said, right, we have a plethora of insurance carriers that are you just have to get on the phone and they're going to tell you how to run the illustration if no one else is around to help. What's the question? What's the answer to that billing question that you have? How is this handled? How is that handled? And so, you just have to go use the resources available to find the answer. I'll never forget, I know this happened to you and you did this to me. I'll never forget, it was on my third or fourth home. I was working a deal with Aetna. And I was having trouble with their website, and I kept calling you. I'm like, hey, I can't, what page am I on? And I don't know what I thought. I just figured you knew what to do because you'd been doing this longer than me. Like maybe you had all the applications with every company memorized in your mind. You could tell me which button to click. And you're like, I don't know, dude, figure it out. And you hung up. And I was like, huh. But I figured it out. And you know what problem I never had again? I never had a website problem with Aetna because I was able to figure it out.
And, Grady did the exact same thing to me, my first appointment with AIG, and he said it in a little less kind of way. He's like, dude, you got to kind of F your way through it. You'll figure it out by. And I know that sounds harsh, and at the end of the day, we're here to help. We are a plethora of knowledge and a resource to you as a new agent, 100%. But there is an aspect of this business that, it is, you got to figure it out. There is a resourcefulness that is needed as an agent because, you just have to be able to, if you don't have somebody available, do you have the tenacity to figure it out and make the sale anyways? And I think if you're somebody who has that mentality, you'll go and, you'll break things and you'll fix it later. So, if you've ever seen the classic meme, it's like, if you never F around, you never find out. And, that's the end of the day. You have to mess around a little bit to find out how this business really works. And if you don't have resourcefulness, when I talk about resourcefulness in the home, it's like I would call up, Grady, and I'd say, hey, Grady, they can't find their bank info. And Grady's like, dude, I would be in their house, searching all of their drawers, helping them find their checkbook, looking for their lost wallet, looking for a bank statement. Hey, they didn't have Wi-Fi, so I couldn't make the signature. Dude, like I would crawl over, the hoarders, milk crates in in all their newspapers to get to the cobweb covered
with that router. Situation, I said, hey, get in my car. We'll drive down the road and sign it.
Yeah, let's get to the Wi-Fi. Yeah. It's like, let's find the password. I'll drive down the road, click submit, and then come back to your house, have you sign again. I'll drive back down the road. With telesales, we don't have to do that stuff anymore, but like we had to be incredibly resourceful. So like you get on the phone and someone's like, I can't find my bank info. And being able to talk to them like, hey, have you checked here? Have you checked there? Like, okay, I'll wait. It's in my car. I had someone the other day. I don't feel like getting up. And I was just like, can you please just get up and go get it? So at the end of the day, you just have to like have a level of resourcefulness, a level figured out. But also like when you do ask questions, you kind of talked about a pet peeve before, like, Josh, he just kind of works here. Michelle, his wife, kind of runs the whole agency, but he had an agent, and this is kind of another one. If you're rude to staff or managers in any way, you are not going to want to work here. But like, tell us that story.
Yeah. So, look, we're all people. No one's perfect. All right, and we don't have endless amounts of patience. Although I would say we're two of the most patient people that I know. With that said,
unless my kids are tearing things up, then I lose my patience.
Yeah, fair. All right, so and I've had multiple agents that this happened to, where you have a staff person. My wife does a lot of the onboarding, and so an agent's working with them, and she's providing them with the roadmap. Do here. Here's the PDF. Go here. Fill this out. And we'll get agents all the time. Do I have to? No, but you don't have to work here either. Like, what do you mean? Do you have to? You wouldn't ask that on a job. They get really short with her. They've said all kinds of nasty things, or ordered her around. Oh, hey, I need you to do this. And listen, okay, if you've ever worked for corporate America, if that happens, what happens to you? You end up working in the mailroom. When the promotion comes, you get looked over. No one wants to work with you. And I remember one of your former staff people. I remember when I came into the business. I went out of my way to be polite to her. Not only that, like I remember sending her messages during the day, like, hey, really appreciate you. You're the best. Because here's what I know. If there's a pile of papers on her desk and one of them is my paperwork and another one is, XYZ.
Johnny
Asshole. And she's got to pick one of the papers up and process it. Which one? Oh, Josh is nice to me. I'm going to do that one first. And there's just no place for anybody that's going to be rude to the insurance carriers or any staff person that their job is just to help you. Because at the end of the day, they don't have to. They could just go to the next agent and just be aware of that. Use your manners. Please, thank you. Not only will people want to work with you and be around you, but if you truly want to get things done, I'll end on this. Without naming names, there's an agent who was a bit upset because they didn't get to train and speak and do certain things, right? And when I was looking at that situation and I said, well, why is that? Okay. Well, this other agent over here goes out of their way to share good news, be of service, lend a hand. And, when I say spread good news, what I mean by that, right? Jamie is my manager, and we become good friends. But especially in the early days, I said, I'm going to call Jamie every day and tell him every good thing that's going on in my business. Not that I need, this extra accountability, although I think we all do, is I want to...
It's a pat on the back.
Hey, that's what I've been waiting for. Yeah. For 3 years. Finally happens. You saw it here. But I'm like, I want this guy to take my phone call. If I'm always calling him with problems, and not the kind of problems like, hey, I need some help, but like the toxic complaining type of problems.
Leads suck, Josh.
Yeah. But I'm like, hey man, I closed a deal. Hey, we brought on a new agent. Hey, this happened. He's gonna be like, every time I answer the phone, Josh has good news. I'm gonna answer the phone. It puts me in a better mood. And so, be that person in your career, just as a human being here on earth, will flourish and be better. I promise you that.
100%. So, guys, if you're watching this video right now, we love the insurance industry. We would love for you to be a part of it. But at the end of the day, the insurance industry is not for everybody. We could honestly make this video into, a 12-part video or a 12-hour-long video of all the things that can go wrong in business. And really, you got to work on the business person. You got to work on yourself, in any business, but specifically in our business. There's a lot of things that you can trip on, and we just want to help you avoid some of those things. So this is the best business ever. It's changed my life financially. We paid off, close to $50,000 in back taxes to the IRS. Bought and built a house, moved across the country, and it's just been absolutely crazy. And, Josh, had talked about a previous video where just in the last 4 weeks, he's submitted close to $250,000 in annual premium. And his commission is going to be multiple six figures when those all get approved, which is going to be insane. So, learning this skill set is worth it. But just like in anything, there are pros and there are cons. Pros to work in this business is, we've got some of the best products ever that people want, that people need. Cons, it's a lot of hard work. And if you're not for hard work, turn off the video. If you're not for hard work and you're not for treating people right and doing the right thing and just showing up every day and doing what you say you're going to do, insurance isn't for you, sales isn't for you, business isn't for you. You probably just need to, go get a job. And there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate, people who work in, those types of positions, but sales is a roller coaster. Insurance is a roller coaster. And if you want to get on this ride with us, we're going to be very upfront on the highs and the lows. And, sometimes the roller coaster goes really, really fast and really out of control. It feels scary. But also, the highs are like nothing I've ever felt before. So if you're watching this video and you made it this far, and you got questions, and you want to dig into some of these deeper topics, we're happy to talk with you. If you say, hey, this kind of sounds like a lot, insurance probably isn't the right fit for me, that's okay too. That was the whole purpose of this video, because we don't just want to find anybody. We want to find the right people. Last thing is, we do not want to motivate people. We want to find motivated people. So are you a motivated person who wants to learn a skill set in the best business ever? We're here for you, and we can't wait to see you on the other side.